Hello and welcome to Patch. I'm your host Paul James. I'm joined by Matto Phillips. How's things, mate?
We are now Damo free again.
Yeah, we won't see him for 12 months, and it is what it is. But that's all right, because he tried desperately to destroy our show last week. So,
What a way to go down if that was the case.
well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, we're still here, but he's done. So, we'll never see him again. The J.K. Rowling haters got him, and that's that.
He's been put in timeout.
Yeah, until the next patches. All right, it is patched updates time. The episode of the month where we talk about all the games that we've been playing of late, usually over the last 30 days or so. And so, Matto, both of us have got at least a few games on our various lists. So what have you been playing?
Well, to start off from last month, the game I was playing was, I honestly can't remember anymore. If it was Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order or not.
Yeah, you were talking about it last month because we were talking about it being for the full playthrough series that everyone will see starting in the next couple of weeks.
Yes, and finished that. Still a good game. And then after I finished the game, because I pretty much rushed it, I decided to go back and just explore.
And how crazy did you go with it?
A little bit crazy. Just went to all these places that I didn't go to the first playthrough I ever did, and just went, oh wow, I never went here before. Then encountered a mini boss and just absolutely destroyed it.
The frog?
Which was no, not the frog. It was something else. But I just went into it like, oh, I'll just give it a go and see how difficult it was. About 4 swings later, it was dead. I was like, so wow, the upgrades really do work.
There's something to be said for just mainlining a game and then going back and cleaning shit up after.
Yeah, usually any other game, I think. What game was it? Oh yeah, hang on, I didn't write that game down. That's how bad that game was.
Oh, we'll have to segue into that one in a
second. When you said like when I finished that game, I didn't want to play it again, but it's done. I'll get back to it a little bit more. Try and find all the chests, which is just the dumbest thing to do, or is it the smartest thing? Yeah. I don't think so. Just doing that because there's a lot of chests and probably a lot of places where I didn't go, and I couldn't be bothered because I had a story to focus on. So,
but now you've done it, yeah, there's the opportunity.
Now those go for free for all I want. And then, while we're on the thing of finishing games that I never want to play again, it did get a mention last week. It was Saints Row. And that is all I'll talk about that game because that game is so boring. So that is a game I'm not gonna try and I do, but I don't. It's like, oh, you got to do all this to get another mission. I was like, nah. No, I can't. I can barely play it for 10 minutes and just go, I don't want to play this anymore. I'd rather play something far more exciting,
like
GoldenEye.
Oh yes,
which is a game that is 25 years old.
Or the Xbox?
I tried both.
Yeah,
I tried both just to see how the controls went.
Got a preference?
64. Was that?
Got a preference?
I would say for now, the Xbox. Because it goes on the old twin sticks. Where the 64 you play it and you just look at it and go, I don't remember it being like this, but guess what? It was exactly like that back.
Yeah, nothing's actually changed.
Controls have just gotten better over the years. Where sensitivity is now a thing, back then it did not exist.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think controls you could change, but sensitivity, no such thing.
Nah.
Soft lock was definitely a thing because you needed it.
Oh, yeah, jeez. Yeah, it's all starting to come flashing back now.
Yeah, so I've got about halfway through that. I was only doing it on Agent, so it's just all that easy stuff. Like, you just plow through one level in about 20 seconds and it's done. You think, oh, that's a fun mission. Didn't even use the tank. That's how quick I did that mission.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and play at some point. It'll be a good nostalgic kick. And it'll tick off some of the retro stuff that I've got in my New Year's resolutions or my gaming goals for the year. So, 2 birds, 1 stone.
Then, what are we going on to? I'll just put this one because this one was on the PlayStation, whatever they call it thing. PlayStation Plus Deluxe. Yes. I thought I'll give it a go. We won't talk about it too much. It was Bubsy, the Woolly Strikes Back.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so I played it for a good 90 seconds and then uninstalled it. That was all I needed. I thought, this is rubbish.
That's a very wise decision.
I thought I'm not. I could just get the feel of it now. God, it's just going to be like this for the entire game. I'm not. I cannot deal with that. It's a struggle enough in the first 30 seconds to play that game. It was like, forget about
like
it.
somehow it got worse than Bubsy 3D.
Yeah, one of your favorite games that you keep always telling us how great it is.
The went on to become the creators of Uncharted Golden Abyss and Days Gone.
Well, at least the only way is up from Bubsy 3D. So
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Days
and
Gone.
Siphon Filter, I should say, of course.
Oh,
Which is
man.
crazy that Bubsy 3D and Siphon Filter came from the same people in the exact same generation.
Yeah, that's how far they come since then.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then we haven't heard from them since, unfortunately. Not their fault. Not their fault that some big name studio thing doesn't want to make a sequel to a game that most people liked. There would be more chance of a sequel from The Order than there would be from Days Gone.
Yeah. And look,
that's
to be
how
fair, I'm
it.
all for that, but that's me, a big fan of The Order. That would desperately.
Oh no, like I want a sequel from it because you can't just leave me hanging on that at the end of that game and then do absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
And the
Or
game
a
sold
movie.
just fine. So there's no real excuse. I'm gonna The Order 1886 sales. Oof.
Sales.
VG charts makes things a little bit vague, but we'll see what happens. What sort of ads am I going to copy? I mean, that game was awesome. Like, it's got its faults, but that game was awesome. And so was Days Gone, to be fair. But looks like well, actually, I don't know how long ago they stopped dating it. VG charts has it at 1.62 million units, but I suspect
I would say probably after the first week when it just went downhill in reviews.
500k in the first week, and then just started to slide from there.
No, there you go. And then onto another game that was also on the PlayStation Deluxe, which was far better than Bubsy. Like Superior, which was finally got to it. I haven't quite finished it. Only just started it. Is Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Oh mate, you're in
and just and just out of the gates, you already can tell it's going to be a good game. Just
absolutely.
I don't know. I can't remember who you try to chase. The stupid rhinoceros thing.
Yeah, it's Rhino at the beginning.
Yeah, Rhino at the beginning. You just go. That's big intro. You go. This is great. I can't wait to play more.
And hopefully, it won't be that much longer. Sometime this year for Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, it just feels like Spider-Man just trying to remember all the controls again. It's like, how do I do this? How do I do that? And then all of a sudden you get into a fight and go, it's all these controls, and just whack them all.
It all comes rushing back.
Yeah, and then just gotta get back to playing that because I really should get onto that. And then going back to another game, which will probably be the next gameplay of the Play 2 after
playthrough, right?
Jedi Fallen Order. It is Resident Evil 2. Claire's story.
Yeah, okay.
Because I thought I'll give it a go and see how different it is. And to start off with, it's not much different. You just do the same thing. And then you go into a hole. And then things get changed after that. Now I'm slightly confused on what I'm meant to do. Because I was flying through. I thought, I'm doing good. I'm doing great. No, this goes there. This goes here. And then Mr. X came again. And would you believe it? I shot off his hat.
You did, and I saw that you've been experimenting with YouTube Shorts around that one too.
Yes, I have.
And that X made all the difference.
Yeah, it just took out the X, and pretty much those views went off. I was like, I can't understand. Like, I actually had to go Google search banned YouTube words just to see what came up.
And what? Just the letter X is?
X was on a list. I don't know if it's been banned or what, or just people tested it. It was in green, so I don't know what it all means, but I just looked and went, okay, so there might be a problem with X? I don't know. So I took X out, And by the time, within the first hour of uploading it, it had like 1,000 views. I thought, really? The word X was stunning my growth.
Matto is going to be bringing these talents across to Player 2 with his YouTube Shorts work in the near future. Stay tuned.
But so I might as well. I could just finish the game there because that's all I want to do. Just go back and shoot off Mr. X's hat. And I thought I'd be more confident this time, saying, "Oh yeah, I know Mr. X. He's no threat." And then you see him come around the corner, like, and you just go shit scared and go, go away. Just try and find a safe, one of those safe rooms where you can't get in, and just hope for the best. I found one, so I'm lucky there.
But then you still hear him stomping around outside for a while. It's the worst.
Oh yeah, I wasn't paying attention once, and just looking up at the stairs. I thought he was coming up the stairs. Then I look back down, and there's his big fat head almost about to punch me in the face until I got back inside. I was like, oh my god. It's like, how did I not hear you? You're just right there.
Look, if he was better at his job, he'd just stand there and wait for you to come out. But anyway.
Or maybe. Just stay in one spot, because I'm guaranteed I've got to go there sometime. Or just wait next to...
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It is only a matter of time, but...
Oh, well, I forgot what the guy's name was. It doesn't matter. Earl. No, it's not his name. It's not Earl.
My name is
policeman. No, not Earl. Not the policeman. I forgot his name. Oh, Carl. I don't know what his name was. Coral. No, that's Walking Dead.
Same shit. Zombie.
Glenn. No, it wasn't Glenn either.
Walking Dead.
And then my final game of the month was a game that came out of nowhere. It wasn't Metroid Prime.
Oh, yes.
It was. No, it wasn't Metroid Prime.
Oh, it wasn't Metroid.
Wasn't Metroid Prime. It was Hi-Fi Rush.
Good. I'm glad someone's... I'll have to get you to do a P2 play. Somehow I think we've gone through the whole thing without anyone doing that yet. But
oh, really?
Really? Yeah, I've been meaning to do it. Haven't done it myself. There's a lot of love for that game, and I want to check it out. Just haven't done so yet.
Yeah, I'd say overall it's good, but it does get repetitive.
Yeah, okay.
But other than that, I have no problems. Like, the repetitiveness does get a bit boring, but I think it's also one of those games too where you probably sit down for half an hour and play, not sit there for 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah. Are you getting a hang of the rhythm though?
No.
Oh.
I clearly have no rhythm whatsoever. But even though like everything's around you is pretty much in rhythm, so you could just go off that and just go, hey. Well, that's what happens if you get the rhythm part right. Some person says, hey. And you just keep going. But overall, it's actually not a bad game.
Oh yeah, we did have one.
Did.
Oh, we do. Sorry, we do have a Hi-Fi Rush video.
Oh, it hasn't been put up.
No. Sorry, just did wasn't the right word. We do have one. It's live. It's out there for people to check out. So you're off the hook.
There you go.
We'll get you to do one for GoldenEye.
Yes, just watch me fly. I could probably do a whole gameplay playthrough, agent playthrough. I'll take no time whatsoever.
Oh mate, that'd be a great.
Hey, maybe I could just find it. Maybe if I could just go on the internet and find all the cheats. And just enter them in manually,
and then go from there.
Because there is a thing out there. I remember in an old Nintendo 64 gamer magazine, it had a little book, and it had all the cheats you can unlock. You can get invincibility and all that without even having to do the levels.
Very nice.
That was the greatest thing ever. Because there's a lot of stupid stuff you could do with that, like pretending to be invisible and have enemy rockets on. And you just like shoot your little gun next to them, and they turn around and shoot their rockets off, and just all slow motion. That was good fun, or fast motion, which was even funnier. Trying to hit them, near impossible. Even that dude in the Egypt one, I don't know what his name was, the Baron dude that laughs.
Yeah,
if it's on fast, you're not gonna hit him. Good luck.
Just spam.
Just fire that gun away and hope for the best.
Hope for the best. Which you said that was your last game, right?
Yes.
Takes things over to my games. One of which, I guess, considering you're just talking about kind of spamming, shooting, and that sort of thing, I might jump to one of my more recent games. But I've got myself a PS VR2, as I think most people kind of are aware. And as this episode goes to air, the first couple of reviews for PS VR2 games will be popping up on the website. One of those is for Zombieland. Well, there's a new
What's the
Zombieland
movie?
game. Yeah, the old
Oh.
like the movie. I mean, when Double Tap the movie came out in 2019, there was it was Road Trip or something like that. I think that was the subtitle for the game. So that there was that one, but there's a VR game that came out in 2021, and it got a port for PSVR2. So it's actually really really good. Zombieland Headshot Fever Reloaded for the it's almost like a definitive edition sort of thing, and like I'm really into it. Like it's kind of surprised me how good it is. Like it's the old Time Crisis style light gun,
Time Crisis.
like
Ah,
on rails light gun game.
yes, I remember Time Crisis.
It feels really really good to play, and in VR as well. So like you've got the full swinging around. You can see them if they're coming from the through a doorway to your right or your left, and you kind of like it's both hands out, and I'm kind of blasting away with a handgun or a shotgun in my offhand, whatever it happens to be. And I say spamming because like the thing about the game is hitting headshots. If you can hit the headshots, it kind of activates like a bullet time style thing. You're referred to as adrenalized, and that slows things down a little bit. So you can pop a few more off. You can string some larger combos together. It helps you get through some of the tougher moments a bit easier, and also there's a like a speed running sort of leaderboard thing, and the faster you, like the more of those headshots you can pop off, the more it takes off your completion time at the end. So you want to get those combos as large as you possibly can. But then the spamming kind of comes into it with the final boss that I discussed. Like it took me ages to work out how the hell I was beating, because like I'm trying to shoot at him and he is exactly like you say, kind of zigzagging all over the place, which is just not a thing that anything else does in the game. And I lost like with that one particular level. Toilet paper is the currency, just to be clear. You're trading in TP, and like that's for all your weapon upgrades, all those sort of things. And then randomly, the very last level, you actually have to pay up 100 TP to even try out the final boss. And I lost basically all of it because he's just zigzagging all over the place, and then eventually comes over. And you're one hit and you're dead in this game, which is not really that big a deal most of the time. It's just when all of a sudden there's a character that's just literally you can't shoot. I was just like wasting rounds, couldn't hit a target until I eventually realized that the couple little zombies that come off from the side, like the normal stock standard ones, you've got to land the headshots with them to get adrenalized, and when you get adrenalized, that's when suddenly you can hit the boss. But that was, I was already 500 rolls of TP down at that particular point, and on my final crack at him before I didn't have enough to have another go. So I've had to go through the work of restocking on that, going through, finally getting the job done and beating him. But fuck, that gave me the shits for a little while there. That one little gimmick at the end that I just didn't realize was a thing. But the game is fantastic, and check the review out on Player 2 for anyone who wants to learn more about that. Whether you're playing it on PSVR2, whether you've got an Oculus or some other VR headset for PC, because it's already available there. Tentacular is another one of those. It comes from Devolver. You are like a giant kind of octopus from the sea. You got two big tentacles, and you just like, it's not even like destroying shit, which is what I was kind of hoping it would be. You're actually kind of like a help to the town. But the gimmick is, what the hell, you're this big octopus, why are you helping us, and whatever, like picking up crates and building towers to kind of protect the town from God knows what. There's like a UFO presence. It's all pretty weird, stupid shit. But it's perfectly solid fun. It leans heavily on like genuine proper physics, which can kind of be a pain in the ass when you're this giant tentacled thing that, like, if you're trying to build up this big tower and then one of your tentacles just happens to graze against the nicely constructed stack of shit that you've been building up to protect everything, and you're the one that then knocks it all over as a result, you have to start rebuilding. Like, that gives me the shits pretty badly. But I mean, I get where it comes from, and they're requiring you to be careful. And the PSVR 2 does allow for that sort of level of precision. Like, you can be really, really exact. But it's still frustrating when you do it. So, and I'm trying to kind of, well, I'm not trying to dawdle. So, stupid shit like that kind of gets in the way. Beyond that, I've kind of messed around with a few other VR games. I'm kind of trying to go one at a time to give them all their proper time and not be spinning 6 to 7 different games all at the same time, because thanks to a lot of different developers in Australia and distributors around Australia and around the globe, I've got tons of codes for different games that I've just kind of been hitting up, like, hey, I've got a PSVR, you want me to cover? And just kind of hitting up everyone. So there's things like Moss 2, what's the Oh shit, I'm going blank. Let me get all my let me get all my VR game names up. Where's my library? Purchased.
Star Wars.
I haven't been able to get Star Wars. What was it called again?
Probably some of the word galactic in it.
Galaxy's Edge. Yeah, Galaxy's Edge was the name.
It's sponsored by Samsung. It catches fire.
No, I didn't think about that, but that's an excellent point. Yeah, things like Moss Pistol Whip was what I was trying to think of. There's Vacation Simulator and Job Simulator that I've got again.
Vacation Simulator.
They're
Vacation Simulator.
They're good, stupid fun. Things like Thumper and Tetris Effect are all there. Like, they're all the things that people could play before. They've kind of got PS5 upgrades. Most of them were free, but a couple things like Tetris Effect. What else? There was a little pay. There was and Thumper. There was like little $7 to $8 upgrades to get yourself the PS5 version. Like, okay, sure, whatever, no big deal. But then other codes that have been provided like Townsman VR. Was it Air Guitar Unplugged, After the Fall, thanks to all three of those, thanks to Play On. Cave Digger 2, Dig Harder. Song in the Smoke, Cosmonius High, which comes from the Job Sim, Vacation Sim people. Demo, which is a really, really popular kind of strategy game that works both traditional control and VR, but is really blown up because of VR. There's a stack of games there. And of course, thanks to PlayStation, is Horizon Call of the Mountain, which is the game that I've of most of those I haven't put as much time into yet. It's kind of next on my list to start moving through for the purposes of review. But the praise has been really, really good so far, and I'm enjoying what I've played so far. So I'm looking forward to spending a bit more time with that. Just need to get the hours on the clock. And VR as a platform has been really, really cool so far. Like, I'm really stoked with the experience that I'm having on it. So I imagine by the time we do our March updates, I'll have a lot more to say when it comes to all things VR, just because at the end of the day, it's been only a few days since the things come out, and there's a lot more that I can still do in the meantime. But beyond that, kind of, I guess, the more traditional video game stuff, I finished, for the sake of the Player 2 Plays, with the full playthrough for the channel, I finished Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, which is the first of the Sly games. Had a great time with that, and I'll start on Sly 2 soonish, because I expect that I'll probably start putting that one out once your Jedi Fallen Order playthrough is done. I finished that on both the Vita initially, and that was like a day or so after we did the updates last time, and then finished it on the PS3 for the sake of the full playthrough only a few days later. Where are we? New Tales from the Borderlands. Went and got that one finished. I think last time I said I'd started finishing it, but it was just kind of like chipping away episode by episode. I just had one big binge one night and got the job done. I played Valiant Hearts Coming Home, which was the sequel to the original one from, I don't know, back in 2014, 2015, the one on the PS4, Xbox, Switch. Did you ever play Valiant Hearts? It was one of those UbiArt engine games, like
never did. Nah.
It was that original was awesome. This one is actually, at the moment, it's exclusive to mobile. It's a Netflix game, so you actually have to, like, you just
right,
if you've got if you have a Netflix subscription, you have the Netflix app, you just jump on the Netflix app and download the game, and off you go. No cost, just off you go, which is cool. It was like a 2.5 hour long thing, and did really hit on the same sort of emotional beats as the first game.
But you're not at home. How can you go on Netflix on your mobile?
What?
With their stupid policy that came in, like, hey, you can only watch Netflix at your home, and that's it.
Yeah, well, apparently they haven't thought through their own thing overly well.
Yep.
So good luck to
them.
Where else? Most recently, and it ended up being a platinum in the end as well. Super Stardust Portable, which was the old PSP game. They put it out on like the PlayStation Plus Premium last year when it first came out, but then for some reason out of nowhere they're like, we should probably put trophies on this. So they patched the whole game and stuck trophies in there. And so over the course of about 2 or 3 hours on the weekend, as of when we record, or yesterday as of when we record, I should say, I just went through and platinumed the entire game, which was good. Nice to be able to tick that one off. There's some challenging trophies in there that I don't have the skill to get, but thanks to the fact that all of the classics on the PlayStation Plus having the rewind function, if I crashed and exploded, I'd just rewind and then avoid that. So I'd be able to notch up all the bombs that I needed or get the shields that I needed to kind of pick off some of those more accumulation sort of base trophies. But anyway, On the Switch, I've been messing around with a few games as well. Blanc, which was that black and white game from Gearbox, or Gearbox Publishing, I should say, that it was like a deer and a wolf, both little baby ones kind of getting along. I actually haven't finished it yet, despite it being like a 2.5 hour long game. I did enough for play 2 plays and then haven't been back to it since. But I was liking it, so I've just got to find the time for that. And I've started Metroid Prime. You referenced Metroid Prime before. I've started playing Metroid Prime, but it's still very early days. And thank you to Nintendo for sending me a code for that one. But the game that I guess I've probably spent the most amount of time with this month, and it's a game that's going to get me, or could get our show cancelled if Damo didn't succeed in doing the job last week.
Do you want me to get back into? I was gonna say, can I go back to bed?
I'm not going to address any of the trans situation with it. My review on the Play 2 website has a little comment there that absolutely J.K. Rowling's behaviour is not okay, and we don't want anyone to feel like they're being mistreated in any way, shape, or form. So if people indulge me as I set that aside for a moment, the game itself is fantastic. The amount of detail in Hogwarts, the castle itself, is unbelievable. Like, I don't think I've seen any game that's kind of... And I guess it helps because we've seen like a movie depiction of the thing, so we kind of know what it should look like. But it's so true to that. And then there's so many little nooks and crannies and things that you couldn't explore in the films because they're linear and you need to go wherever Harry and the team go. But now you can just go off and explore this different section. You can go into the room of requirement and build out however you want. There's all these other little sections that you can just go and visit places that you've never heard about. And then when you want to leave, you can just go off to Hogsmeade or just explore this wide world around it. And they all look fantastic. Certainly the bulk of the work has been put into Hogwarts and Hogsmeade themselves. And so as a little township, Hogsmeade and Hogwarts, the castle, they're fantastic. But once you leave, it looks great, but it's far more basic. There's tiny little townships of like 3 or 4 houses, pretty basic sort of stuff, a couple little paddocks or whatever, and then you move on. Like, there's not a hell of a lot going on in most of the spots. Once you get into the open world, it's just, there's enemies here, or here's an opportunity to go and catch this magical beast and bring it back to your room requirement to save them from poachers and all of that sort of stuff. Like, it's far more basic once you get out into the world. But they kind of sacrifice a few lore things in the process. Like, the students were never allowed to leave at night, but here in Hogwarts Legacy, you just fuck off whenever the hell you want. And you...
Isn't this before Harry Potter?
Yeah, like 100 or so years.
Oh, there you go. So someone in those 100 years stuffed up somewhere, so all the kids had to stay.
Yeah, someone must have goofed real hard.
So they changed the what's his name? Old No Nose. Voldemort.
Yeah, maybe Voldemort was the one that did it years ago. And they go, fuck it, that's it. This prick's killing people. We're not letting students out at dark.
Tom Riddle, the bastard.
Riddle me this. So, yeah, look, Hogwarts is fantastic. If people want to check out more about it, I've got the review on the Player 2 website. We've not really been doing any social media plugging of the whole thing because we don't really want to elevate that. But if you're listening to this, then you obviously already check out stuff on the website. So if you want to see the review, it is there, but we're not trying to acknowledge it too much publicly out of respect for the trans community. We've got a business thing to kind of uphold, and so we've done that. And then we can kind of move. Thankfully, all of us can kind of move on and presumably not talk about it again after this episode, even.
Well, luckily it's 2023 and there's a shitload of games coming out, so it'll be well and truly buried.
Well, exactly. I mean, there's tons of games that are still rolling out from Atomic Heart, which I've got but haven't tried yet. But that's another game that people want to hate as well because it's kind of connected to the Russians. You can't really get away with anything these days. What else? Oh, actually, I didn't mention Wild Hearts. I've started playing Wild Hearts.
You said that before.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, you did. You asked me if I played it.
Oh, shit, my bad.
Yes. I'm pretty sure this is another game called Wild Hearts. I'm pretty sure I don't know. We can't rewind and say,
I
hey,
mentioned Atomic Heart, Wild Hearts. I don't know. Yeah, we can't rewind. Someone will confirm it. Or
oh, wait, no. No. It was in Valiant Hearts.
Oh, yeah, I was talking about Valiant Hearts. Yeah, Wild Hearts.
Okay. Wild Hearts.
Wild
no,
Hearts
we have not talked about Wild Hearts.
The EA Monster Hunter one.
Too many hearts.
Yeah, far too much heart. The EA Monster Hunter game. So
no, we did not. If you said EA Monster Hunter game, I would have said no. We had not talked about that yet.
I am loving that game. I haven't been able to give it as much time as I would like because of the 5,000 other games and now all the VR stuff that I'm contending with. Sean's got a review written that should be going up on the website really, really soon. As far as I know, I think he's still really positive on it. I think there was some performance issues on the PC version towards the back end of the game. He was playing that, so that may...
That's unheard of. The PC version
PC version's like the worst version these days. They're having a rough old time.
Wow. You know when the PC version's better...
It's worse than the consoles.
Yeah.
Because the console versions, I'm not hearing about anything yet, but we'll see. But yeah, I guess I'll probably have more to say about that one next month because I absolutely plan to stick to it. It's a hell of a lot of fun. And the final game, because I haven't had a chance to start on things like Octopath yet, but the final game I've been playing is Theatre Rhythm Final Bar Line. It is the Final Fantasy music game.
Yes.
And that game has 385 musical tracks from Final Fantasy. It is absolutely insane.
I remember it was a stupid number.
Oh.
I said about 700. I was a bit off. I just saw 300. I thought I couldn't even remember 300 songs. I could, but from a game, no chance.
No, there's plenty in there that I don't recognize, especially from some of the earlier Final Fantasies which I played. But I don't think that. Bit of a technological constraint and also just age thing at the time, a few of those haven't stuck with me. But once you kind of get to Final Fantasy 6 onwards, most tracks that pop up outside of Final Fantasy 14, because I just haven't had been able to commit to that giant MMO, most of those have stuck with me, and I pick them as soon as they appear. Even little classics that pop up from Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, which was a Super Nintendo spin-off. I loved that game when I was a kid, so that one pops up and I'm all over it. But there's a few abstract ones, but there's plenty of other really good shit too. So keen to just keep playing through it. The reviewers, if it's not live now, it's imminent on the Player 2 website. It is written, it is locked and loaded and ready to go. So it's just a matter of when we post things around. There's so many reviews coming out to the Player 2 website this week, so plenty for people to kind of check out there and completely bury Hogwarts to what I said before. But yeah, Theatre Rhythm's pretty great. So if you like Final Fantasy and you like Final Fantasy music, then you'll have a great time with this. But that's it. I feel like I've gone through 5,000 games in really rapid time. In probably about the same amount of time you went through 6 or 7 in the end. But there's a lot of kind of go check out the review, or I'm playing this, but I'll give you more next month. So expect a lot more next month, I guess. What do you see yourself playing though over the course of the next few weeks or next month or so?
Probably play a bit
not
more.
Not Jedi anymore, so.
No more Jedi. Play some more Hi-Fi Rush and try and get that finished. Same with Resident Evil 2. Try and play that, get that done. But most importantly, this week, get it on to playing Metroid Prime Remaster, because the hard copy comes out this Friday.
Yeah, the 3rd, right?
Whatever the Friday is.
Yeah.
And look at it, go. I can now have the GameCube version and the Switch version together.
Oh yeah, side by side. That's cool.
Side by side.
I didn't even think about that. Do I have Metroid Prime?
I don't know.
I think I do. I'm just gonna.
And then also,
keep going.
Then also, my final one will be the Resident Evil 4 demo that they announced during the State of Play. That the special demo.
Whatever that is.
I don't know what that means.
It's
probably just hyping it up.
There, so I'll be in the same boat.
They're probably just hyping it up for something stupid. I don't know. It had the mercenary. I don't know. I don't know what it is. So it better be good. I don't really care. But the whole mercenaries thing, I don't know if that's from a code for another game, a very, very old Electronic Arts game that didn't do very well back in the day. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, I'm pretty keen on Resident Evil 4. So, and that's this month, isn't it? There's the demo, but the
end of this month. The game comes out at the end of the month.
Yeah, March 24. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm just going to skip 3, go on to 4.
If you get the time to play 3, it's still worthwhile. It's about 6 or 7 hours.
Yeah, but my old buddy old pals in 4, old Mr. Bad Leon. Voice acting Leon.
Yeah, okay, that's
when I heard that trailer, I just heard his voice actor, I thought, oh my god, it's
happening again.
Still there. It's not again. But
a good
thing, or everything else makes up for it. The old Antonio Banderas look-alike.
Yeah.
Makes up for it with his Spanish accent. So I could call anyone Antonio Banderas just because they have a Spanish accent.
C. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm super keen on the game, so hopefully by the time we're talking next month, I've had a chance to play it. I assume you will have at that stage, like at least the full game, or at least the demo, if not the full game.
Was it the 24th, which is also a Friday?
When it comes out, yeah.
Which is the final. Oh man, possibly. I cannot guarantee.
That's right. No big deal if you haven't. We've got plenty of these episodes over the course of the year to discuss it, or like another 10 specifically. Were there any others that you were going to play?
No, that's it. I don't know. Also, I haven't been paying attention to games because there's just too many. Then I go look on the Games Pass catalogs and PlayStation bursting. Plus. There's just games everywhere, so I don't know what to play. It's just too many. Definitely not Bubsy. We can cross that one off the list. Bubsy is a no-go.
I'll check the Game Informer list while we're chatting, but like I've got a few games that I'm in the same boat as you that I'm definitely keen to play. I do have Metroid Prime Remastered listed there, but that's just a reminder for me to go pick up the physical edition. I'd love to be able to play something like Wolong Fallen Dynasty, but it's a Souls game, so it's just going to kill me, so no thanks. Dead Cells, though, the Return to Castlevania DLC comes out. Keen to give that a go, even though I still haven't played the original Dead Cells, so that might finally be the moment that Patch Ghost just swept through your screen then. That'll be probably finally the time I play Dead Cells. Bayonetta Origins comes out, so the kind of, that little prequel Bayonetta game with the different art style. Keen to check that one out. Have a Nice Death, which was another Gearbox published indie game that's looking pretty cool. Keen to try that one out. Resident Evil 4 Remake, which you've discussed. Tchia, whatever.
Tchia,
got announced at and it's free for PlayStation Plus Extra people, so that's kind of cool.
Not the new Caledonia Zelda looking one.
That definitely won't even be nearly as close as Breath of the Wild in terms of quality, and even then, obviously, Breath of the Wild's shitty Witcher. So,
I was gonna say, is it gonna be better? No,
it won't be better. Like, Zelda's still a fantastic game. It just ain't a Zelda game. Then there's things like Before Your Eyes on PS VR2 that I'm keen to try out. What else? Dredge from
the boat.
Just overseas now. Admittedly, by the time we record our next episode, the game still won't quite be out. It's a March 30 release, but keen to try that out. Terra Nil comes out that month. That's a Devolver game. It's kind of like a city builder, but in reverse. Like the world's kind of been, or not in reverse. The world's been kind of
Demolition Man.
Yeah, I didn't really word that overly well. It's kind of somewhere in the middle, I guess. You're kind of knocking things down, rebuilding things, recycling things. It's all very environmentally focused as you do it. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, that's Terra Nil. Did you realize that Crime Boss Rockay City game is out this month? Remember the one from the Game Awards? The one with all the...
the one with Chuck Norris, all those idiot Hollywood... No, just forget about it.
I think it'll be shit.
I would... If there was that... What's that? I don't care. I'll cancel my subscription if it's on Games Pass. What's that well played? The ones with the ratings? I'm going to give it a 30.
That's not out
of 100.
Not on Game Pass, so it's not a bad thing.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm going to give it a 30. Anything with that many A-grade celebrities in it is just a no-go. I don't care. Unless it's Grand Theft Auto, then forget about it.
Yeah, I can get around that. And the only other one of interest to me is the Dark Pictures Switchback VR, which is the Until Dawn Rush of Blood kind of on rails light gun horror game.
Just see who you want to keep and who you just want to get rid of.
Well, I think this one just kind of takes you through all of the different, like a whole bunch of moments from the different stories of each of the Dark Pictures games so far. It's like all 4 of them we've had so far. Right. But then it's this on rails thing. Like I've seen screenshots where it's got like the kind of fucked up nurse lady from the original game, and then there's like a screenshot where you see you're now entering, and I've forgotten the name of the little village, on Little Hope, the town from the second game being Little Hope. I think they're touching on all of the 4 games that have come out so far, and I'm sure there'll probably be some teasers to whatever the game that comes out later this year as well. So that's gonna be kind of cool, and they usually make at least decent games. Their VR work hasn't been horrible up to this point either, so yeah, keen to check that out. But that's on top of all of the VR games that we were talking about. Like I've kind of got a giant backlog. There is things like Octopath Traveler 2 that I need to play, Tales of Symphonia that I want to play, and I'm sure there's just and then all the things that are just sitting on the back burner from this month as well. That Kirby, Atomic Heart, even Scars Above comes out I think the day that this episode goes up, it's kind of the Space Tomb Raider one that you may or may not remember. So yeah, plenty to play. Any other last minute ideas that popped into your head in terms of what you want to get up to?
Nah.
Awesome.
Not that I can think of.
Well, we'll wrap things up. There are plenty of games to play. February's been kind of fucked in that regard. So hopefully things can slow down and we can actually get through and play as many of these as possible. But that's where we'll wrap things up for this episode. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. All the buttons are down below. Hit the notification bell. That way you're alerted to every new video the moment it goes live on the channel. That includes more patched Player 2 players, Gamer School, and a whole bunch more. Awesome stuff there. Please subscribe and go and check it out. Visit the website, player2.net.au, for reviews, previews, opinion pieces, news, features, links to the podcast series Patched, the Player 2 Pixelcast, and Dev Diary. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/player2au, kicking a few bucks, lower tiers early access, higher tiers monthly episode exclusives. And finally, there's Twitter. Matto?
Matto_Phil.
Paul James Games for myself. The website is player2au. And until next week, hopefully you found some time to actually work through we can't even call it a backlog. It's literally just all the shit that's come out in February. But hopefully you found a chance to play all the games that you wanted to play this month. And that you get some more time if you didn't in March to do so. We'll see you next week. And I don't know, that state of play kind of sucked the other day.
Yeah, I know. Out of all, you would have thought Xbox had a better state of, or whatever play it was. They only showed 5 games.
Was it inside? No, developer
showcase. Something showcase.
Developer_direct.
Yeah, that showed 5 games that was more interesting than that state of play.
Yeah.
Even though that 15 minutes of it was just Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, here's some VR at the start. Here's some crap in the middle, and here's the Suicide Squad at the end.
I'm sure they won't torture that bad, but I'm worried. Well, maybe we'll talk more about that in the future.
What are you doing, Jim?
Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time.